Yo, what's up everyone, Cooper Smith here, and welcome to Season 5 of Total Drama My Way. We've been to the island, we've been to the movies, we've been across the world, and we've had our loser season. So, this time on Total Drama My Way, we have 13 new contestants, 2 actually from the season, and some from the rest from the other season, with only 2 from the Central Camp this time, which being Tess and Hunter. No Ali, because it'll kind of just be stupid, because no offense, I prefer these 2 together instead of Ali and Hunter like they did. So we have Heather, as you guys chose to be the main villain of the season. Topher, because I just wanted him here, and same with Sammy, because they need a better character development story. And Maria, because she was actually kind of a funny character in it. Ezekiel, because I got no place to place him, so I placed him here. Blaney, because she can just be an early boot. Leonard, because he's just annoying as hell. Max is just very annoying, and I decided to put him in because he's just very funny in Park 2, so I just put him here so I can get to use him. Jeff and Bridget, because they're going to be Mike and Zoe couple-ish, and Lightning because, well, he's Lightning. So, I'm going to do what I did in the What If. I'll tell you the characters instead of just doing, what I did before. So, I will be doing the plots. So, yeah. The episode begins with an introduction from Chris, saying that we've been to the movies, and around the world, and we've had our losers season. Explaining that the season will be taking place once again at Camp Wawanakwa. However, this time, the season has a few changes, since they have been away, meaning that things have gotten dangerous. Right as an intern who brought Chris a drink is taken down by an arm of a giant octopus. The rules of the game remain. The same contestant will have to face against each other. So yeah, it's not actually them. So it's Duncan. Well, it's not really, it's just pretty much Trent and Gwen kissing. DJ. Well, it's not really. It's DJ. Well, pretty much it's the same cast from before. So it will be Noah and Amber who will be making out the hell. So yeah. All new 13 contestants. A quick introduction for each new contestant is given. The viewers are first introduced to Heather and Topher. So, the former telling the latter to stay out of her way, well, his way. Then we have Jeff and Bridget being introduced. Only to be interrupted by Lightning, Ezekiel, and Blaney. Catches Zoe after she is pushed out of the way by Lightning, but drops her to a salute when his name is announced. Then it will be Tess and Hunter who are introduced, followed by Anne Maria, who blows a kiss at the camera. Then Leonard is introduced doing his wizarding skills. And then Max will be coming out saying, "How perfect this is! This is well, I would win this." So yeah, and the final introduction goes to Sammy, the sister of Amy. You'll see her in a future season, because Revenge of the Island is not gonna have one season. It's gonna have 3 seasons. Yes, I'm giving 3 seasons to Revenge of the Island. The reason is I need good character development, and it's easier to add more characters at the time. So Amy will be introduced in these 3 seasons. So each season we're going to start off with our 13, then we're going to have 14 contestants in the next season, and then in the 3rd season we will have everyone and having 5 more contestants introduced in it. So yeah. Okay, Chris activates a bomb, destroying the yacht, causing the cast to fall over. It's Jeff who saves Bridget, who was trying to save Ezekiel from drowning. The contestants swim back to the shore of the island. Leonard is seen drowning at the lake, but lightning still saves him, calling him a wizard geek in the process, causing Leonard to protest. Ezekiel starts drowning as he was trying to wasting his energy just blabbering on. Jeff and Bridget both say they'll help Ezekiel, but he takes her hand and puts it on Jeff's head, drowning him. Bridget saves them both. So Jeff stays in confessional. Okay, my first confessional. So Bridget, let's go. Okay, she's super nice. I wonder if she'll go out with a guy like me. See, I have this pretty much I'm just a very chill dude. I just hope my personality doesn't ruin everything for me again. Oh. Bridget says in confessional, "Wow, I can't believe I'm actually in the Total Drama Confessional. It's so exciting. Everyone seems so nice. I hope they all like me. I could use a few new friends. Or friends, period. Or what if they hate me? Maybe this is because the flowers just was too big? Am I trying too hard? You like me, right?" Meanwhile, Topher cheers excitement when he believes he can reach the shore first. However, Max is already at the shore, laughing the hell out. Leonard is the third to make it to shore. Followed by Blaney, who was unknowingly carrying who's weightless in this series? Ezekiel, I guess. So yeah. So it would be Leonard saying this. "I got the power of my wizarding skills. I want to use it for the greater good and show people magic isn't just a myth." So yeah, okay. Before I blabber on forever with the entire episode, let's talk about the teams. So the teams will be, of course, Lightning and Amaria will be on the same team. Where's Lightning? There's Lightning. You go on the Toxic Rats, and Amaria, you're on the Mutant Maggots. So he will be on the same team. So Heather, you will be on the Mutant Maggots. Blaney, you're on the Toxic Rats. Jeff and Bridget, of course, you're gonna be on the Mutant Maggots. Topher, Sammy, Max, you're on the Toxic Rats. Ezekiel, you're on the Toxic Rats. Tess and Hunter, you're on the Mutant Maggots. And Leonard, you're on the Toxic Rats. So yeah. Mostly because he became a bit sexist after getting out the water. I think it's gonna be annoying saying this. It would be Ezekiel going home if Max just kept on being like an idiot most of the time and didn't really help in the challenge. So Max is the first boot instead of Ezekiel. Surprising, yes, but I feel like they would need Ezekiel more than Max in this case. So yeah, sorry Max, your first boot. Truth. or laser shock. So, the episode begins with all the contestants' morning routines. In the toxic rat side of the girl side of the toxic rat's cabin, it's Blaney and Sammy talking to each other just about strategy and stuff, while in the boys' cabin they're just like partying because they just like being here. It's just kind of funny. So yeah, Heather stays in confessional. Alright, I was out looking for the hidden immunity idol. Not that they need to know. It's all part of my strategy. Let my team lose. So the maggots develop a false sense of security before I pick them off. Here's knocking. Occupied! A woolly beaver bursts out in the confessional, scaring Heather. The mutant maggots, girl side is very packed. It's Anne Maria and Heather talking to each other while Bridget and Tess are just hanging out. And, so yeah. Leonard's, well, it's not really, I'm just gonna say Hunter says this in confessional. I had a hard time falling asleep. It's my first night here, but I finally recreated it but, it's harder, but because I now have like a crush on this girl called Tess. It's surprising. So yeah, Chris gathers everyone, greeting them to start the day's competition already. However, Lightning and Dakota both complain. Well, it's not really. It's Lightning and Maria who will be. Well, it's actually Lightning and Blaney arguing not having a daily protein allotment and beauty sleep, representing I guess no one would have a crush on. I think Ezekiel tries to be nice with Blaney, saying she can't not look bad, but he's scared off when she takes off her sunglasses, revealing her reddish eyes with bags under. After Chris directs to the Bay of Dismay, Blaney is shown on her phone, indicating she's going to a bay, while Ezekiel is seen playing with his. Well, he's just hanging around by himself. Both of which are confiscated, which leaves them both of them suffering from withdrawal. On their way, Jeff and Bridget bond over movies, as Bridget says the Bay of Dismay sounds like a location from a movie called Total Warriors 2. Well, Jeff playfully says that if she is into ultimate kickboxing, he might have to marry her. Behind them, Ezekiel comes up to Blaney apologizing for screaming after seeing her without sunglasses. So he tries to compliment her by saying she was taken by her beautiful personality. So yeah, Blaney thanks him and tries to come up with a compliment in return, but asks if she can come back to him on that. Unsure, Leonard, I'm just gonna say it's Leonard and Heather, are seen walking beside them and having a conversation, in which Leonard is hopeful that the next challenge is not physical, preferring something more magical, insisting that his greatest strengths are mental. Heather says that he is mental. If he thinks he can win total drama without getting physical. Meanwhile, Amory is seen walking next to some members of the Toxic Rats, and she asks Topher what he thinks the challenge will be about. He answers with maybe just a truthful dare, maybe. So yeah. Um. So it's a trivia game, and the contestants need to get together with it. So a non-athletic contestant ends up winning the physical orientated challenge for his team. So they have to go to elimination again. So they either have to vote off Blaney, or they have to vote off like Leonard or Ezekiel. I think they vote off Ezekiel for being kind of sexist. So Ezekiel's supposed to be like the same character, and Blaney goes up to Ezekiel and just hugs him, because saying that he was actually the nicest person she's seen, and gives him a hug. Ezekiel's happy and says, "I think I've met the girl of my dreams." As the dreams part kind of ends with Chef launching him on the catapult. So yeah. Next is Ice Ice Baby. So, I think Leonard would have the plan to make like a giant like magnifying glass using the ice to reflect it using sun power. So, because of this, I think the Toxic Rats would actually win this one instead of losing, because there's no Scott here. So no one would pretty much lose. So the mutant maggots have to go to elimination. And I think Amaria asked Heather who to vote off, and she says Jeff or Bridget. Amaria says that they're getting too close and true, but I think she'll think to vote off either Tess or Hunter. But there's actually not an elimination on their side, since I think Leonard would, well, I think it would be Blaney who would specifically get injured, so she can be with Ezekiel. So Blaney volunteers to go since she broke her toe, and she is eliminated. Pretty stupid to make a love story out of Blaney and Ezekiel, but like I'm out of choices to do with Blaney because she's playing Dakota in this case, and I'm playing opposites here, so it just makes sense if I do that. Um, Next is Finders Keepers. So Finders Creepers. So Finders Creepers. The two teams are sent into the woods on a scavenger hunt, where one contestant's condition causes no one's condition. Jeff just gets annoying, so yeah, so no one sabotages the team, but the toxic rats fail again, and I think Topher and Sammy and Leonard agree that Lightning is getting so annoying, so I think they vote off Lightning in this case, but this time it'll just be a proper elimination instead of getting him out. So in this case, in Backstabbers Ahoy, Anne-Marie would be asked to join the other team, and he would ask Tess, no one else. So yeah, 9 people remaining. So I know I'm being stupid about this, but next is Backstabbers Ahoy. So one he'll deal with its new member, the other becomes divided by thanks to one team contestant who supposedly shares feelings for 2 other girls. So Tess actually just falls in love with Hunter and they kiss. Jeff and Bridget like fall in love, have a kiss, and Heather feels like the odd one out here because she might be voted off next. So Chris says you can join the other team, so Heather goes on to the other team, so she doesn't get voted off. So yeah, Tess gets, well, because there's a draw between Jeff and Tess. Well, Jeff and Hunter. I think Chris would have to choose one of them, and he chooses Hunter. So sorry, Hunter, you've been eliminated this early in this series. You'll be back though. You'll have a better chance another time. Leonard is asked in Runway Model to join the Mutant Maggots, so we have equal teams. So yeah. Next is Runaway Model. One team embraces them, well, their femininity, because only Topher's the only guy there. So yeah. Excluding a particular thingy. Excluding the magic guy. Oh, instead of without Bridget and Tess. The other team shows problems with over macho nature of another, and a persistent conflict of two others. When a judge is captured by a dangerous monster, so Lindsay would be back in this episode. No, not Lindsay. It would be like, who would it be? I guess like Tom would be in here, even though he didn't want to be here. I guess Brick, because he wanted to be a fashion designer. So yeah, Brick's back in this episode. So yeah, the host forces two contestants to switch teams in this case. So Heather and Tess, Heather and Leonard decide to switch. Leonard just hates Jeff at this moment, and Heather prefers to get back with her team. So yeah, they switch back. But because of this, way earlier than it was supposed to be, Topher and Sammy and Heather vote off Anne-Maria, so in Runway Model, the model is eliminated in this case. This would lead to a mine is a terrible things away. So because there was there would only be one elimination in this episode, so yeah. Okay. Two teams are sent into an abandoned mine. Where the one contestant takes charge of her team. And someone's disorder gets out more out of hand, so it's Leonard's disorder. So, I think the Mutant Maggots would lose in this case, and they had to sadly vote off Tess. Because Jeff and Bridget need to be kept together. Heather has to stay, of course, she's main villain. And Topher, Sammy, and Leonard can't afford to lose another player. So, yeah, surprising this is the merge. Jeff, Bridget, Topher, Sammy, Leonard, and Heather. So yeah, we have Grand Chef Auto. So Grand Chef Auto, the teams are merged, and the host sends the players on a challenge that someone quickly takes control of due to one person's slip up. Someone with a secret is forced to work for another until he finally stands up and to take control and save his crush. Although someone appears to have come from behind victory and being betrayed, the host gives the rewards to the original winner. So Heather would win immunity and has sole vote in this case, and I think, very weird to say this, I think Heather would not actually choose Leonard, Samuel, or Topher, and says, Jeff, it's time for you to leave. And Jeff is eliminated in this case. So yeah. Then we have Treasure. I know I'm doing what Mike was eliminated, but I'm still going to keep the same timeline in this case. So we have the treasure of Dr. McLean. So, the team wakes up in the middle of the lake where no one returns, and seeks help from a fellow teammates who gets, meanwhile, another member tries to help a friend to keep secret under control. Someone, well, not really, so, yeah. I think, stupid to say this, Leonard gets injured, and he is eliminated because of this. So yeah. Then we have Up and Away. So this is where Julia returns. Up and Away, My Pitiful Balloon. Okay. The competition is down to the final four. And when the host, well, like pretty much it will be non-elimination to Julia erase the entire thing. So yeah, three dangerous threats start attempting to outfox each other. So it would be Topher, Bridget, and Heather. However, after an old contestant shows up and steals what was supposed to be hers, the original challenge is changed in order to catch her. In the end, the money is reclaimed and no one is eliminated. Yeah, non-elimination, I know. So yeah, then we have Eat, Puke, and Be Wary. So, in this episode, the final four are forced to partake in a disgusting cooking challenge when the host becomes immobilized. Because I think, Topher would try and take control of the show by putting, Chef to throw, Chris into the toilet by forcing him. I'll give him a good pay. He won't. And does it, and Chef does it, leading him to do the challenge for it. So yeah, because of this, I think making that while their enemy tries to eliminate a physical threat, which is like, well, who was originally Lightning, which is now Heather, but Heather steals the immunity idol, and her only vote was for Sammy. So sorry, Sammy, you've been eliminated. So yeah, then we have the enchanted. Sorry, give me a sec. The enchanted Franken Forest. So the final three face off in the forest full of toxic carnivorous plants, and the lines between Bridget and Topher happens. So it's either letting the anti-hero and villain to face off, or it will be Topher and Bridget, or Bridget and Topher Heather. So yeah, have friendship before winning, allowing someone else to win. So Heather would actually win, which lead her to go to the finale, and she gets to choose who will be facing her. I think in this timeline, Heather would originally say Bridget in it, but I think most likely because I feel like Heather would kind of have a little crush on him. Heather chooses Topher, Bridget is eliminated in this case. So that's the order of eliminations. Now let's talk about the finale, which is the ultimate showdown. Showdown. So, in this case, after a long and painful season of grueling challenges, only two contestants remain in the competition, and their mission is to fight it out for the $1 million prize. They are taken to a coliseum to fight in a ultimate final challenge, which features numerous obstacles and the return of a few old faces. One and Topher would win in this case because the villain always gets second endings. So Topher gets the first ending. Sammy hugs him and kisses him because she's just so happy, and Topher's like blushing the hell out. And when Heather wins, Leonard comes up and says, Congratulations, young soul, you've won." And Heather kicks him in the balls because he said that. So yeah, sorry. And then yeah. Um so yes. That's it. So, that's all I'm gonna say for this timeline. So, this is one more time saying this. I thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time for another Total Drama video. So, definitely next time will be Total Drama Season 6, my way. So, yeah, but it won't be All Stars, it would be most likely Total Drama, I'm gonna call it Revenge of the Action. So yeah, I'll see you next time. Bye!